Ready, set, and go. Hi, my name is Dr. Sonia Aurora, and you can find me on Instagram at the handle at dr.singer. Today we'll be talking about how to find, I fucked that up. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Hi, my name is Dr. Sonia Aurora. You can find me on Instagram at the handle at dr.singer. Today we'll be talking about how to be a great dental associate. I hope you enjoyed this series and hopefully you can also be a great associate. The first thing is be ethical, be empathetic, be ambitious, and be hardworking. All of these things will make you a great associate, but also a great human being. Your staff and your patients are going to know all of these qualities and they will feel it. They will feel it, an aura around you. Being ethical is important, not just in dentistry, but in life. If you're not being ethical and you're overtreating patients or overcharging patients, someone somewhere is always watching. And you should remember that everything comes back to bite you if you're not being ethical. The next thing is prioritize people over profits. If you know you won't do it on your own mom and dad or your sister or your brother, then please don't do it on other people. You have to sleep at night knowing that you actually did something positive in this world. So please prioritize people over profits. So always ask yourself if you're confused, if it's a 50-50, if you know that you maybe should drill or maybe shouldn't drill, just try and watch it. Monitor it for a few weeks or a few months. But if you know for sure it's 100%, I would do it on my parents and I would do it on my siblings, then go ahead and you're probably making a pretty ethical decision. The next thing is help your staff in your spare time. If you have a few minutes or even a half an hour in between patients, and if you're a new grad, especially if you're a new grad, try and integrate yourself into that clinic. Learn about the other roles, learn how they do it, and learn how they do it well. If you can't do something in the clinic, it makes you a poor leader. So if you don't know how to answer the phone, if you don't know how to book in patients, if you don't know how to take payments, learn all of these things. I promise you that you need to be a good leader by knowing all the roles and how they do them in order to lead people better. So learn these things in your spare time, and if you can, try and help them out, especially if you're running late. I guarantee you, your staff is never gonna forget how you helped them just when they were running behind. The next thing is be humble, be approachable, but set boundaries. The last thing you want to do is use your doctor title that you've so proudly earned to talk down to people. People will feel that you are talking down to them and they will change the way that they approach you and they will change the way they're there for you to help you out. Don't use your doctor title to control people or to manipulate people. Instead, be approachable. Drop the doctor title if you can amongst your staff so they feel like they're working with someone who's working with them and you're not working for them. So be approachable to everyone around you, and I promise you that they will work 10 times harder if they feel like they're playing for the same team instead of playing for someone. The next thing you can do is don't micromanage your coworkers. Lead, motivate them, encourage them, and influence them. If they have a question, have patience. Try and teach them a little something about dentistry. If one of your staff members maybe doesn't know why a night guard is important or what materials they use, try to take a minute to teach them because they will be the deal closers for you. A lot of patients will ask your staff if they should go ahead and do a certain type of treatment, especially when you're not in the room. So if your staff is educated and if your staff is motivated, then they can educate the person and patients when they're not in the room. The next thing is try to understand the perspective of others, especially if they're giving you constructive feedback. If you don't understand why they're approaching you in that way, maybe try and ask them, you know what, I need to figure out why you're giving me this feedback at this time, and maybe try and figure out your intentions. Not everyone has bad intentions, but maybe their approach of it is not exactly your cup of tea, and that's okay. But try to have an open set of eyes and try and see their perspective, especially if you're getting constructive feedback. In your early days, try and learn as much as you can from other people. The next thing is how to be a great associate. It's easy to go to your boss with a bunch of problems that are not really working out for you in the clinic. For example, If you don't have enough patients in the book, you might run to your boss and say, well, there's gaps in my books and you need to try and find a way to fix it. But this is not exactly going to solve the problem. Instead, go to your boss and say, you know what, there's gaps in the books. Maybe we can increase our patient flow by making something that's a little bit different to other clinics. For example, I went to my boss and said, you know what, instead of giving just toys to kids, how about we do something for the adults too? We spend about $1 per kid to give them a toy. How about we do something for the adults to make it feel like they're also getting a reward at the end of their appointment or during their appointment? So I suggested that how about we do little eye serum masks under their eyes and give them a relaxing feel so that when they're away from home, they can feel like they're actually relaxing in a dental chair instead of just being drilled. So try this technique and see if you're just approaching your boss with a bunch of problems, but are you approaching your boss with solutions as well? And here's an example of my patients doing this eye serum treatment under their eyes and how great of a feedback I got from them. They were posting about it all over social media, and it was a great way to get new patients into my chair. So try this trick if you haven't already, or maybe suggest it to your boss the next time you're in the clinic and see their reaction to it. If your boss shuts it down, it's okay, it's not the end of the world. Try and come up with a different solution. But maybe, who knows, your boss might actually think you have a great idea on your hands and they might implement it into the clinic. Try this and let me know how it goes. The end. It was short.